My uncle's wife told me this story. She's from a small town next to our town in Mexico. She said that one night, past midnight, for some reason, she looked out the window in her room and she saw something flying by and made eye contact with it. She came to realize it was a witch. So she panicked and closed the curtains and tried to go back to sleep. She said she usually woke up at 6 a.m. to go to this house where they had a corn mill so she could make handmade tortillas. When she woke up, she said her head was sticking outside the window. Their windows had metal bars, and her head was sticking out. She believes that the witch she saw tried to take her, and the only thing that held her back were those metal bars. Earlier this year, during the spring, my wife had planned a trip with an older woman who she befriended. They had been friends even before I first met my wife. She had mentioned to me before that her friend was a witch and routinely performed rituals with animal limbs. I didn't know anything about witches, to be honest, but what I experienced leads me to believe that she is bad news. I've yet to meet her in person, but strange things happened to me after she visited our apartment. My wife's friend drove to our apartment early one Thursday morning so that they could carpool to their destination. I work during the afternoon and into the night, so her knocking woke me up. My wife is already awake and greeted her at the door. But strange things happened to me after she visited our apartment. My wife's friend drove to our apartment early one Thursday morning so that they could carpool to their destination. I work during the afternoon and into the night, so her knocking woke me up. My wife is already awake and greeted her at the door. I was experiencing an earthquake. The vibration then turned into what I can only describe as someone kicking my mattress from underneath. I sat up in bed and carefully observed the other objects in the room to see if they also were shaking, and to see if this was an earthquake. Nothing else in the room was affected. No later than 10 seconds after sitting up, I felt my king-size mattress come off the bed frame about 2 or 3 inches and lightly lean from left to right. After that, the mattress settled back into frame. My body became unusually warm, and I was too scared to jump out of bed, fearing something would grab my ankles as soon as my feet touched the floor. Close to where I live, there's a forest which holds a dark secret. The Witch's Tunnel. A cluster of trees that have intertwined, clasping hands with each other to form a dark passage. It is said that deep within the forest lives an old witch with eternal knowledge. Walking through during the day is unsettling. A walk through this tunnel at midnight in the dead of winter, when the moon is full, is a different experience entirely. The branches will twist and sway, as if trying to grab you, and you'd swear they were alive. There will be no sound except the wind whispering in your ear, telling you to turn back. What looks like a distance of a few feet will take you nearly an hour to travel. If you turn around, the entrance will be barely visible. A mere speck. Turning back now, however, would be a very bad idea. You must keep walking. Eventually, you will come out the other end. Only this won't be the same forest as it is in the day. The moon will be so big you can almost touch it, and where the light manages to pierce through the dense foliage, you'll see the ground is alive with one big crawling mass of insects. Grotesque, mocking shadows will surround you in a thick blanket of fear. As you continue, the path will split in two. Look for a crow in the trees. She will indicate which path to take and serve as your guide. If you ignore her and take the other path, you will be doomed to walk it for eternity as punishment for your insolence. The correct path leads to a break in the trees, overlooking a small lake thick with fog. Remain here until the fog clears, then walk to the shore. Glancing at the deep black water, you will see yourself reflected, only many years older. If you see nothing, you have already failed. You may ask your future self one question, and it will answer truthfully. Ask wisely, however. Some things you are not supposed to know. When you have your answer, turn around, and you will see the crow has reappeared. Only now, in her true form, a sunken-faced old hag propped up by a gnarled branch. She will turn and begin walking, and you must follow her. A few yards behind, be careful not to lose sight of her, as you will become lost in these forbidden woods forever. She will stop beneath the tallest tree in the forest, and her bony finger will beckon you over. Approach her, but do not look her in the face, lest what you see behind the trees, ageless eyes, drive you insane. In return for letting you into her wise woods, she will ask a favor of you. This could be anything, from reading a certain book to committing a murder. Promise her this favor, and she will lead you out of the woods. Upon leaving the forest, return home immediately and go straight to bed. The next day, rise at dawn and return the witch's favor. If you do not do so within 24 hours, she will return to you that night. She won't kill you herself. That would be too easy. No. She will whisper in your ear whilst you sleep, invading your dreams and fulfilling your subconscious with dark suggestions. You'll create your own death, tearing yourself apart, both mentally and physically. The witch does not forgive.